here at noon. I'm Brooke Hash, and we are following some breaking news with an active scene in Louisville's Park Duval neighborhood. We just learned in the last 15 minutes a man died in a shooting this morning. His death marks the first homicide of the new year in Louisville. LMPD officers are investigating right now near 31st Street and Young Avenue. There, Dwight Mitchell told us officers found a man shot multiple times, and despite life-saving measures, he died on scene. Officials say it's unclear what led up to that shooting, and they are asking for your help.
You know, it's in the middle of the day here. Somebody saw something, may have heard something or saw something. The smallest tip can be the tip to the whole iceberg that leads to the arrest and the prosecution of the person or persons involved in this.
Again, if you live in that area, the Park Duval neighborhood, and have security video or heard something LMPD wants to hear from you, that number is 502-574-LMPD. Louisville's police chief Paul Humphrey says crime is down in Louisville thanks to the department's new strategy. According to the Metro Gun Violence Dashboard, there were 107 homicides last year, which is down from the year before. It's the first time since 2019 there were less than 130 homicides in a year. Burglaries of homes and businesses went down, along with auto thefts. Chief Humphrey said it's a step in the right direction, but far from over.
There is no goal. There is no finish line in this. We have to keep pushing. This comes from a combination of strategy, hard work, community collaboration, and some luck.
Humphrey did say thefts of items from your cars went up, which he called concerning, so please make sure to lock your cars. And LMPD still needs your help after a New Year's Eve shooting. 39-year-old Shoshana Jones shot and killed another woman, they said, in the parking lot of the McDonald's on East Market Street. It happened New Year's Eve, and the department believes she's armed and dangerous. So if you have information regarding that case, there's that anonymous tip line again at 574-5673. LMPD also has a crime tip portal. It is at 12:01 here on your Friday. We have made it to the weekend. Started off pretty wet this morning, Austin, but otherwise clearing out for the rest of the day.
Yeah, that's pretty much what we're looking at. All the rain from this morning now to the east of us, and we got some more rain on the way for Saturday morning, but it's not looking to amount to a whole lot. And right now it's just going to be breezy the rest of the day. Here is a live look at Max HD radar, and you can see the swath of rain now in eastern Kentucky, well out of Kentuckiana, though a spotty shower or two possible the rest of the day. There is one developing in Marion County right now, also moving into Greene County, but those are very, very light. And we didn't really see any warnings this morning, thankfully. We're going to be breezy the rest of the day, falling temperatures throughout the rest of the afternoon, and we do have a few showers on the way for tomorrow. Much colder by Sunday, and going into next week will be much closer to our average highs for this time of year. Here's a live look at our TriMark 4-box traffic camera. Everything moving smoothly on this Friday, and let's keep it that way. And we're actually starting to see some sunshine over Louisville right now. Far cry from how we started the day. We're at 64 at the airport, downtown as well, 67 in Shepherdsville. And the National Weather Service has told us we hit 69 degrees at the airport earlier due to that sun, but you can see how the temperatures are going to be falling through the rest of the day, or at least the temperatures that are on the way. Now, we're keeping an eye on the Peach Bowl forecast. 65 degrees is what we're looking at right around kickoff time. Rain is still a toss-up in Atlanta. If you plan on going, I'd get going. It's not a short drive. Kickoff at 7:30 this evening.
All right, Austin, thank you. Protests sparking across the country after the death of Renee Good. She is the woman killed by an ICE agent in Minneapolis back on Wednesday during an agency operation. Well, people in Louisville, Cleveland, Kansas City, and Minneapolis held demonstrations last night. The National Guard in Minnesota is on standby there. And now there's been another shooting by federal agents, this time in Oregon. Border Patrol agents said the two people shot has ties to drug cartel gangs. The Department of Homeland Security said border agents stopped a truck on Thursday in Portland, Oregon. They said the two people in the car were affiliated with a Venezuelan gang. DHS said the driver tried to run over those agents. The agents then shot 5 times as the truck sped away. But local officials say they cannot verify those claims.
Our end, we do not know the facts of this case.
We know what the federal government says happened here. There was a time when we could take them at their word. That time is long past.
The two shot were taken to the hospital. Oregon State Attorney is investigating. In Louisville, hundreds came out to two different protests against ICE operations. Our Jose Alonso and photojournalist Aspen Hester were there.
Protesters taking a knee while holding a moment of silence in front of the downtown Louisville's U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement building.
Power to the people!
This large and peaceful group walking and chanting through downtown to the federal courthouse. Earlier, some of them were overlooking I-64. On this overpass, about 30 people with signs for drivers on the interstate down below, with honks of support. A group named the Sharp Objects protested ICE's actions in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
That sign says ICE murders because that's what's happening right now. And I can't believe it, and I cannot believe it's happening in the United States of America.
This protest blended into a larger one, held on the steps of Metro Hall a few hours later, where a large picture of Renee Nicole Good, the woman who was shot and killed by an ICE agent on Wednesday, was present as Louisvillians shouted her name during nightfall. Federal officials like Vice President J.D. Vance defended the agent's actions.
You have a woman who was trying to obstruct a legitimate law enforcement operation. Nobody debates that. You have a woman who aimed her car at a law enforcement officer and pressed on the accelerator.
U.S. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem spoke on why her team was in Minneapolis in the first place.
President Trump promised every single American that he would make America safe again. He promised every single American that he would work to protect them from dangerous criminals.
The protests turned to the streets, following the familiar route from the 2020 protests over Breonna Taylor.
These people are here because they're outraged. That's a great community too. Minneapolis, Louisville, great communities being torn apart right now, needlessly.
LMPD Chief Paul Humphrey also speaking on the shooting in Minneapolis, calling it a tragedy.
There's a reason why we have policies that say don't put yourself in a bad position. That's why we have policies surrounding shooting at people inside of vehicles.
These Louisvillians walking in solidarity and remembrance, support for Minneapolis and for change within the federal government. Jose Alonso, WHAS11 on your side.
Those protests ended in downtown Louisville shortly after 8 o'clock last night. A Metro Council member is pushing for the city's own reform after a federal judge struck down Louisville's consent decree. Councilwoman Donna Purvis wants Louisville's community commitment to become law. It's the city's local version of a consent decree focused on police reform. A federal judge formally dismissed that consent decree, which stemmed from an investigation into LMPD after the death of Breonna Taylor. Despite what some consider a setback, Purvis still wants to see change happen, meaning more transparency in your local government.
We will honor our commitments and enshrine our promises of higher standards into laws that all of us must follow, with real penalties for those who break those laws.
Purvis said she plans to hold multiple hearings for people to share their thoughts on that community commitment. Your Metro Council leaders look the same as last year. The council re-elected its leadership team last night. Brent Eckerson will serve another term as president. Tammy Hawkins returns as president pro tem and Democratic Caucus chair. Jennifer Chappell will serve as Democratic Caucus vice chair. The Minority Republican Caucus will be chaired by Anthony Piagentini, with Khalil Betchon as vice chair. A heads up to drivers, the Kennedy Bridge will be closed tonight. KYTC said it's closing all lanes of 65 South starting at 8 o'clock, and it'll stay closed overnight until tomorrow morning at 10. KYTC said drivers should plan to detour by taking I-265 west. Crews will work on the ongoing bridge expansion joint replacement project while it's closed.